music has been with me all my life. I started since I was little. I did not grow up in a musician family, but I did grow up surrounded by musicians all the time. So
I see.
I play classical music, but I also play jazz, which is kind of like my hobby. It's what I do for fun. So whenever I want to have fun, I mean, obviously it's part of my career, but it's also my fun part.
Yeah, no. So I have an interesting question. Since you like music and also you like to teach English, do you think it's possible to learn English through music? And if so, how would you do it? How would you recommend someone to learn English through music?
Okay, so it's actually one of the like most recommended ways. If you like a certain song or a lot of music, like a lot of people know music in English, but they don't know what they're saying, which is very common. Especially like 80 songs or 90 songs that were very popular. A lot of people know them, but they don't know what they're saying when they're singing. So what I recommend is that you go on YouTube, you type the music that you like, and then you have the subtitles with like the lyrics and stuff, and you can also look for a translation in your language if you don't have a good enough you know level. But usually people already know English pretty well, and it helps learning a lot of vocabulary. In fact, I have a student who loves like all the Ed Sheeran songs, and he basically knows all the lyrics by heart, not so much because he likes the music, but because he has learned so many words. So sometimes he's talking with me in English, he's like, tonight, I know that song because it's in a song by Ed Sheeran. Tonight, it means this night, tonight. So he relates whatever word he learned to a song. So it's a very good way of like learning English.
I see. In fact, I've never really tried to do it, but since I started to learn English and I kinda started to get a grasp on the language, I started to notice the to understand the meaning of the songs. And
Hmm.
in fact, that's something amazing. It's pretty cool because finally you hear a lot of English songs, so you're able to understand, you're able even to sing. I'm not a good singer, but I like to sing in the shower. And it's
Yeah.
good to see the songs right, it's a feeling, it's something different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of learning, especially if you like music. Obviously, not everyone likes singing. I don't sing because I'm not a good singer, but I can sing the notes. I actually have trouble learning the lyrics to a song. So for me, it's really amazing to see my students who learn all the lyrics, but they can't sing it. And I can learn the music, but I cannot remember the lyrics to save my life. It's very difficult for me.
I see. In fact, as I told you, I never really tried to learn English or any other the language that I study through music, but I've been learning four languages: English, French, German, Italian, and I have
Hmm.
a playlist for each of the languages. So sometimes I shuffle the playlist to listen to different songs,
Yeah.
and once you start to understand, it gets better.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, especially because the language in a song is not like the language that we study. It's more like the spoken English or spoken whatever language that you're learning. So, for example, in my case, I learned Italian with songs. I used to like a lot of like Italian pop music, and that's how I learned a lot of the expressions in Italian from the songs.
In fact, I've been trying to study at least a little bit of each language, but my main goal this year is English. I wouldn't say that my English is bad. I kind of am already able to do anything that I want in English. I just
Hmm.
want to improve speaking. When it comes to listening, it's no problem. I'm able to watch TV shows.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love language, So as you said, you're having fun at work, You're working with something that you love. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get a job in the future related to language, So I'm gonna be able to work, get paid, and have fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like the important thing. It's important to get a good paying job, but it's also important that you feel happy that you're accomplishing something,
Yeah.
you know?
But
And in my case, I was working full time only as a musician, but I'm not only a musician. I do a lot of different things. when I was younger, I did modeling since I was a teenager. So basically, I kind of missed that all the time that I would only do music. And I also love teaching languages. So when I found Cambly, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try Cambly. And they do this interview and like everything to you like within a month that you have applied. And obviously, well, I got the contract for it, and it's really easy. It's very easy to apply actually. But for me, it's also very fun because I get to meet like a lot of people from around the world. So I have like students from like Saudi Arabia, from Turkey, from China, like all over the world. So it's really interesting that we can always relate to anyone, no matter how far they are, or even if their culture is really different, you know.
I see, I see. But yeah, I find that's amazing. And as I told you, in fact, I don't mind if I don't get a huge salary, you know, I'm thrifty. So even if I work with something that I love and I don't get paid a huge salary, that would be amazing for me, you know. Right now I'm being paid a good salary, but I don't like my job, so it's kind of boring, you know.
Exactly.
I'm kind of fed up with my job right now, so yeah, I would say that money, it's not the most important thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not. I think it's, also the fact that you're open to learning something new and like preparing yourself for something that you want to do in the future. That's really important because a lot of people just settle, like, okay, I have a good job. They don't care if they're happy or not, and that's not very good because eventually, after like a couple of years, you're going to be like, what did I do with my life? I didn't do anything. I wasn't even happy. So,
Yeah, I'm afraid to in the future have to say that. So that's why I'm working right now, and I'm trying to make the most of my life to have fun. So I'm laying the groundwork right now. So in the future,
mhm.
I'm not gonna regret anything.
Exactly. So that's a very good way of thinking. And also for languages, it's like it's the way that we have to think too, because we're not always going to speak a language perfectly, but we do work little step by step every single day. We do the listening, we try to do talking, we sometimes even like get to write if we have friends like abroad, or we get to read something in the language. Like we're putting the effort in. So eventually that pays off.